What is up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here. Today we're going to talk about, can the Buzzz, the most popular mid-range of all time, how does it stand toe-to-toe against one of my favorite mid-ranges of all time, the Discmania Origin? But before we dive in, we have to ask the most important question of the day. How you doing today, Rich? You having a good one?
So catch me if I fall.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we dive too deep into this, because, I'll go ahead and make an apology for the warship battle, where I thought I had another warship, didn't end up having it, and someone commented something along the lines of, so we didn't have two discs, and we didn't have, the right disc matched up. That's fair, I get it. It's on me for being ready and supplied. And I think that even though the flight numbers of the Discmania Origin are 5, 5, -1, 1, which are eerily similar to the flight numbers on the Buzzz, I don't think these are remotely similar discs. I think that they are quite a bit different in terms of what slot they're gonna hold. And I think that's more so a flight number discrepancy, because you have the Buzzz that I think traditionally flies more overstable than the flight numbers would imply, and the Origin, which flies significantly less stable than the flight numbers imply. But I actually bagged Origins for quite some time, and the Midnight Prowl from Kyle Klein, I think, are the most overstable run of Origins that are out there. And so because of that, I've got two in the bag for today. But just as a reminder, before people come after me in the comments, you, the audience members, are selecting what goes into the Buzzz Battle. So you're picking, based on your comments, your interactions, your votes, what is going to be the next winner. So I want to take a quick moment to remind everyone of all of the discs that we've already done in this series, because I'll see people comment something like, dude, you should try the Reactor. That would absolutely crush the Buzzz. Let me tell you, Robbie, if you try the Echo, it for sure is going to beat the Buzzz out of your bag. We've already tested the Buzzz against those two discs. So Sai's gonna put a list on the screen here for you, and I'll just read through the list real fast in case some of you, you have me on another monitor. Reactor, you have the Echo, you have the Hex, followed up by the Pathfinder, moving on to the Claymore, the Mako 3, and the Warship rounding us out. I don't have the Buzzsaw today because I think that Origins traditionally fly more understable, which means that we are subbing in the Big Z Sacco Buzzz, and I want to go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, this purple guy that isn't Jimothy Jr. Unsurprising to most people, I'm not very good. So I messed up and threw Jimothy into a tree and hit it really hard because I was trying to practice on fully hitting my hit point. And Jimothy lost a lot of his life in his body. I hit a tree hard. So Jimothy's not flying the same anymore. So out of respect for the fallen, we have a new one in the bag, which is Z Buzzes with the Robbie C stamp. And we actually still have some available on foundationdisc.com, so check it out. Not a lot left, but a few. So if you ever wanted a Buzzz, there you go. Hole 1, it's right out there, 274 feet. We're gonna throw we're gonna go Buzzz, Origin, Buzzz, and we're gonna let ourselves have a little fun with it. It's all about CTPs. Not a grip lock, but that's fine. Let's go Origin, flippier Origin. Okay, told you. We are early releasing. Let's go Buzzz. If that gets through that would have been pretty sick. So far, not really great shots. Midnight Prowl has a chance to shine. And you can see just how much flip up it has. The Origin's gonna edge it out. It's about probably 5 or 6 feet of difference, because this Origin landed here, just a little off, and this one cut in just a little early. Both of these, I think the issue on these shots was height and glide. The Origin especially, an immense amount of glide, and I think that is huge for how this disc gets its distance. I would also say that on a day that I don't feel like I'm committing well, which, we've still got time, so we're not dooming and glooming in this thing just yet, but on a day that we're not releasing well, the easy stand-up flip out of the Origin is going to net some probably more positive shots. Let's go ahead and try to lace a line. Yeah, this is a putter shot. Like, it's just feeling like more of a putter shot. And we just absolutely smashed one. If that gets a kick, truly this hole, I think I'm like throwing Precious Child at this point on this hole on a bunch of hyzer, letting it stand up and then just falling in, because I'm not trying to like throw it super hard. So I think I just put way too much juice. Did it get all the way up here? Let me tell you, it's tough up here, guys. You'd almost rather this be OB. Oh, yeah, if it was down there the whole time. Well, this is dangerous. I would put this just outside of circle. One of my longest drives ever on this hole, and not a good way. Yeah, I do think, don't go in the ditch. Oh, come on, Buzz. I anticipated that the Origin pushed deeper than it did. It may have trickled down the giant slope. Origin up 2-0. Sounds like the world was coming out for the stomp that was Buzz Worship. You've seen it, you know it.
Don't throw it in the woods.
So we're just gonna pump one straight out there. Hold on to it, Crawford. Tailwind not doing us favors at all. I mean, I threw that nose up still, but tailwind doing us absolutely no favors. I think if we were to pop that hard, giving it some height, could have gotten something special. That's the width we need, and it just finds the ditch. This is another reason, ladies and gentlemen, that we moved the trail trials to another course, because I really want to support part of our local scene that does tournaments. Like, they are doing more tournaments than Disc Golf Birmingham is, for sure. But it feels like every time they put on an event, they're putting this course on the list. I really struggle with this course to not feel like half the shots are, yeah, just not it. So I think that comes down to sometimes when people ask for advice, they should take the advice rather than just put their head down and like install a course. We hung one and the tailwind moved us left. So we're gonna be left side tree line. I gotta find that disc. And then the other one, we started right enough and then it still carried into the ditch, this little baby ditch. So we're not gonna have good footing. You can see that little broken, or that little like lighter one that's sticking out. That's the back end of the gap. So we're from here, we're just trying to throw a hyzer into that area. And I'm actually lining up towards the basket. And like, that could be deep enough and be fine. Could have been short. We don't really know. I think we're just gonna go spike hyzer. Spike hyzer didn't sound like, I mean, it sounded like it hit something at the end, but did it make it far enough into the gap before it hit something? Give the Origin a 3-0 lead. I wonder if spike hyzer hit like that and got knocked down, because it's here. And then I wonder if this got a bridge skip, hit up, and then rolled its way back down. They're both upside down, which, you know, fun fact, I feel like whenever you find your disc upside down, you gotta know, someone told me once, when you find your disc upside down, that just lets you know something squirrely happened. Okay, so shout out to my boy Pete Collins. This is an angle where I wish I could put you on the back right of the tee box so that you can see the forehand shape. Fortunately, that's walled off. Stable boys, we have the Robbie C Buzz, and we have Midnight Prowl 2. I think the Midnight Prowl 2 is gonna have to be on some steep hyzer, or else it's just gonna stand up and roll over. I have never forehanded this Buzz. I felt like I was dialing in the others. Felt like that Buzz and I were coming besties. Let's see what we can do. Gentle forehands. Too much, get through that. Okay, I like that. It was really smooth, felt really good, just not enough hyzer. And that got a favorable kick, but you could see I started the Origin on way more hyzer than I started that Buzz on, and the Origin still stood up and tried to get to that tree. For those of you who are all about the comparison of the discs, the Origin is just more understable than the numbers give, but I think that makes it such a phenomenal beginner disc, because I don't think that it's so understable that if you were someone with a natural anhyzer release angle, that this disc is useless. I think if you're throwing on hard anhyzer, it's pretty tough to use, but if you're not, I think it's very, very straightforward. And if you have any bit of a hyzer tendency at all, it's phenomenal. I think I'd like to swing it up the left gap and get lucky, but I kind of have to punch one right up the middle. And this first tree is just in my head. And when it's in your head, you kind of gotta walk away, reset yourself. Well, that time I didn't give it enough to stand it up. Okay, gamesmanship. I see where the Buzz is, And it would be pretty easy to just try to jump putt this thing straight forward. Obviously that could still mess that up because I'm not a jump putter guy. We're gonna throw a forehand, and basically if we can make it past, there's like this little bend in. If we can make it past that, that's the dub for this hole. No shot, dude. Was it a backhand turnover? Certainly wasn't. Not with that elbow dip. I said it before and I'll say it again. I am someone who I would consider myself to have a good forehand, an above average forehand for sure. And I love forehanding really overstable discs. I actually really enjoy forehanding really understable discs. I was thinking about this as Ledgestone has happened recently, and a creator that I follow, he was on hole 1 Northwood Black. He was throwing a forehand Innova Sidewinder, which is really understable fairway controlled driver, and he was buttery smooth with that thing. And I think that if you're someone who has a good forehand, then when you find something really understable, you can understand those breaking points. And since you know sort of what it wants to do on your forehand, you can lean into that. So my issue has always been forehanding neutral stuff, right? Like the Buzzz SS's and the Origins of the world, because I think that they are understable, but they're not like so understable that it's just naturally doing the thing. Buzzz still has the box. We're gonna try to throw up and over that without just going silly nose up, but it's okay if it goes nose up because we like that it has to go left. Maybe not that left. We'll see. Might have a hyzer swing in, or it might be up the left side. I think what's going to be fun about the Origin is that because it takes a silly amount of hyzer to get it to stay on hyzer, I think the stand up could actually be beautiful for this and make this like one of the best shots, if we throw it well, that we've ever thrown on this hole. Yeah. So you can see it stood up just the fair amount. Got to, like, it stood up from the extreme hyzer to a hyzer, but it just kind of pushes. And that's one of the best parts about the Origin, is the free distance you get when you just let it subtly stand up. Both of these got too far left. That's spicy, because I don't think we can get back to the fairway there. So it's just gonna be a matter of, don't stab myself here. We're just going forehand up and over. Oh, you silly, silly boy. I knew that because the Origin is the Origin, that I was gonna be able to sort of toss her up there on Anheuser, and she was gonna ride it the whole time. Honestly, my worry with the Buzzz was because I knew if I threw it on that same line and it fought out, it was gonna go way too far. The Origin is definitely closer. Let's just see how good of a shot that was. Right over top of the basket, hit this tree line right here. To be that far off the fairway and be able to Origin putt our way to a birdie. Second shot was great. It's just a little tunnel shot, just a little tunnel shot, which for preferred hyzer angle could be awesome for the Origin. Remember that time where I said a little less hyzer, a little more flat? How about I just throw it on pure hyzer? Don't have it today, guys. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when you're having a bad day, that's okay. It happens to everyone. Just have a little bit better of a worse day than your competition. This is one that should go in favor of the Buzzz. Buzzz has the box first. Buzzz has to get the wind read, so we'll find out if there's some squirrely stuff happening out yonder. Oh, Dennis. Actually, like a really good tree, because that was so far left. So far left. Is that gone? You got to see why we've been throwing the Origin on a bunch of hyzer. Let me tell you from experience, trying to get a birdie from where the Buzzz landed, very difficult. Very rarely do you have a putt. Carried into the tree line. Hopefully it stopped short of the fence back here. Buzzz takes it with an opportunity to lock it up on an upshot here. Grass is tall. Could be the last time we see either of these. Right up the gut. Okay, we will see that disc again. I got afraid of the wind. Origin time. Turn, Okay, Origin's gonna have an easier time. Here at the Buzzz, dead middle of the fairway. Origin's up there in probably another 40, 50 feet. Wind got a hold of it up there. Wind got a hold of it and we didn't put a lot on it. Origin's open. It seems juiced, but I promise you, that hole is deceptively longer than it seems. Here's the Buzzz, edge of circle, and the Origin's not pin high, but it is closer. We head on to the final hole. Final hole, we throw all four. Origin has the box. It dodged that pole, which is good. It's gonna be down there. Buzzz. Much more direct route, but it's got a little more finish. Right now, Buzzz has it. Midnight Prowl 2. Oh yeah, that's not it. Okay. And that one might be parked. This might be, in all the Buzzz battles we've had, this might be the best shot we've had, especially in the decider hole. Once again, Robbie C Buzzes available. FoundationDisc.com. We figured it out towards the end. Origin, just phenomenal flyer. The Origin is in my like top 5 best for beginners recommended mid-ranges. I cannot stress the importance of the Origin enough. I think it had a valiant battle today. Showed its weakness on the very last hole of like, okay, when you really want to put some yam into it, put some power into it, if you have your angle wrong, it's going to do exactly that. So that's tough, but I think that's the weakness of it, because the rest of the day when I wasn't hitting them confidently, they were still getting that stand up and fly, which is free distance that this disc gives you. So Origin, check it out. Then we have some at FoundationDisc.com as well if you go to pick up the last of the Robbie C Buzzes. So I want to say thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below which new disc that we haven't covered before are we playing in the next edition of the Buzzz Battle. May not be back at this course because there are, between fairways that were off roll, there were 3 more trees that are falling in fairways, like that are blocking the walking paths, and the grass is really tall, but we'll be back here eventually. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Please make it fantastic for someone else too. But for now, we're gonna leave you with the birdie.